Cincinnati Bengals select Joe Burrow, quarterback, LSU.
Mel Kiper shared earlier that going into last season, he had a 6th-round grade on you, but then you won the Heisman, a national title, you're #1 overall. How do you process that?
Welcome to the Vicious 11 Sports Podcast. I am your guy, Almighty Mac. And today, let's talk about the #1 draft pick, my guy, Joe Burrow from LSU. This is an interesting situation because nothing really comes good from the Bengals. You know, you can have a lot of good things that come from a lot of different teams, but the Bengals are just one of those teams that, don't really flourish. They kind of remind you of the Lions. Always almost close, but never a cigar night. You know how that whole saying goes. And it's kind of interesting where now we have the Bengals taking Joe Burrow #1 after a monster season, one of LSU's best seasons ever, one of the best basically quarterback performances I've ever seen from an LSU quarterback. We're not even going to begin on Jamarcus Russell because that was that was an entire fraud spectacle because a man couldn't throw 5 yards once he got into the NFL. But Joe Burrow, I think, is a different beast, but he's starting with the wrong structure. When you look at the Bengals, you see a team that's less than mediocre, and they've been less than mediocre for a long time. There hasn't been, they kept Marvin Lewis forever. He never really amounted to anything, no playoff wins, over 12 years worth of the same thing. So with Joe Burrow coming in, are they going to breathe new light? I just don't know, at this point, because they kind of remind you of the Lions. This is not a team that you really would want to start with, might I say. It's a team that's almost been mid-road forever. Do I think Joe Burrow can spark something? Yeah, if they put the right pieces around. Get him an offensive line. Get him some wide receivers. Get some receivers that can stretch the field. You need your inside intermediate routes, but you need somebody who can stretch the field for him because he had a lot of big-time receivers at LSU, so he's going to be looking to throw down the field. He wants to see what he can do. Test the boy's arm out. Put some wide receivers out there that can stretch the field, get vertical, and get him those big plays that he needs to make the offense, get downfield and produce yardage. The running game is pretty solid. They still have a plethora of running backs. There's about 3 or 4 that they have in the backfield right now that could start on any team. But as far as their passing game, there's a lot of question marks. They got a good wide receiver core, but they got a good tight end core as well, but no quarterback to really get these people the ball. So that's where Joe Burrow makes up that missing piece. Can he do it? I don't know. But he's starting with a dysfunctional franchise, so it might be rocky from the gate, but I do think he might be able to pull it out, but I just don't know if it'll be with that team, okay? I don't have no faith in the Bengals. I don't have no faith in their organization. It's just one of those things, and Joe Burrow's coming from my favorite college football team, so, I'm kind of torn with this whole situation, man. So let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Do you think Joe Burrow can turn something around for the Bengals, or do you think this might be another lost cause due to the dysfunctional atmosphere that basically the Cincinnati Bengals present with every player in every situation we've seen throughout the history? They haven't been good since Boomer Esiason. So, that's back in the 80s, so let me know what you think. Comment, leave me honest feedback. Vicious 11 Sports. I am Almighty Mac. Joe Burrow to the Cincinnati Bengals. Will he turn it around, or will this become another crash from hell, that the Bengals always create? Let me know, and I'm out.
Transfer portal. He said one more time he wanted to go to Nebraska, and Scott Frost, the coach, said, is he better than what we got? The answer is yes.
Well, we all knew this was coming. Doesn't make it any less powerful. Joe, you were in Nashville last year for the draft. If I had said to you then, you're going to be #1 overall in 2020, what would you have said?
I would have told you were crazy. I knew I was going to have a really good season because I knew, we had really good players coming back. I had great coaches, and we were going to work really, really hard to do it. But to jump up to #1 overall is crazy to me, but it's a dream come true.